giving a cardiovascular effect. Oh, but there's also weights involved. And so it's like resistance-based cardio. The nature of the workout, which is more endurance and cardio based. The heat definitely takes its toll. Hello all, it's June 22nd, 2025, Sunday, and today I plan on doing, I would say, a more endurance style workout. So I'm not going to go too heavy on the weights, at least not for the most part. And the goal is to keep the rest periods between sets minimal, and yeah, pretty much just do kettlebell and steel mace movements, maybe some steel club stuff, but at the moment I'm leaning more towards just the kettlebells and mace. So starting off with my 25-pound kettlebell. So the weight's relatively light for this exercise, so I'm doing a hand switch clean to external rotation shoulder press. 25 pounds isn't particularly heavy for this exercise, but like I said earlier, the focus is more on endurance today. So I'm keeping the rest period between sets minimal and the reps relatively high. So I'm doing 10 reps on each side with this, and again, it's not 10 reps isn't at a point at which I'm hitting failure, but it's like a rep range around which I start my heart rate, or I feel my heart rate starting to get pretty high, like not super high, but it's definitely like probably in the 140, 150 range. And then with my 25-pound mace, I'm going to do 10 alternating 10 to 2s. And then immediately after that, going back into the initial movement, which was the kettlebell clean to external rotation shoulder press and hand switch. So this way my heart rate stays up, giving a cardiovascular effect. Oh, but there's also weights involved, and so it's like resistance-based cardio, muscular endurance. Like when people think about endurance, they usually think a lot about just running long distances or spending a lot of time on the Stairmaster or swimming long distances. But there's also endurance when it comes to high repetition no rest weight training sets. The ability to do resistance training exercises for a long duration without rest. And then the steel mace. So with the steel mace on each set, I'm switching the overhand. So last set I did right hand overhand, and on this set I'm doing left hand overhand. So yeah, this is what I'm starting off today's workout with. That was my 5th set. Going to do like 1 or 2, probably at least 2 more, and then on to the next thing. It's also a very hot and humid day here today. It's 33 degrees Celsius, which might not sound that hot, but for whatever reason, paired with the mobility, and I don't know what it is about Canada, but 33 degrees Celsius here feels hotter than 33 degrees Celsius elsewhere. But regardless, it feels hot and it's humid. Not super humid, but there is enough humidity to feel like a sort of thickness in the air. In any case, for the next set of movements, I'm going to do kettlebell snatch to start, with a hand switch in between to switch sides, and going to do 8 reps on each side. So snatch and switch hand snatch. After 8 each side of that, with my 15-pound mace, I'm going to do alternating hand 10 to 2s. Went for 12 reps on each side, and then pretty much immediately right after that, going back into the next set. Snatches are a movement that require quite a bit of explosive strength and requires a lot of muscle groups to work together at once. Anyway, let me finish this. Oh, but yeah, on snatches require a lot of muscles to work together at once. So while snatching, I like move the other hand back, using that opposite hand to like generate some more momentum. So there is muscle groups on just that side of the body involved with that. Then as you swing, you're doing like a row motion and then flipping it at the end. Anyway, so there's a lot going on. The core has to stay active to stabilize all of that. There's like an explosive component. I don't know, snatches are a really cool movement, especially kettlebell snatches. But yeah, I'm doing this for 5 sets and on to the next thing. For the next set of movements, using my 45-pound kettlebell to do ballistic rows. So going for 15 on each side. With the ballistic rows, one of the things that I notice personally is, outside of the fact that I'm using my back to row each time, it's almost like I'm doing a standing oblique twist every rep. So there's a lot more going on than just back activation during the rows. Also there's like biceps and shoulders involved too. Then with my 15-pound mace, I'm going to do a 2-arm 360, single arm 360, to front swing, switch hands or switch sides, and repeat for 6 to 8 times on each side. The heat is slowly starting to add up on the fatigue on my body, and especially given the nature of the workout, which is more endurance and cardio based. The heat definitely takes its toll. So yeah, this is what I'm doing for my third set of exercises. I'll just record one more set. Yeah, I had some thoughts about the steel mace movement, but I'll say it when I get back to it. So, with the steel mace movement, there's a lot going on. So even I'll do it. So 360 shoulder serratus back, single arm, and here core, wrists, shoulders again. The whole time there's abs involved, and all pretty much with all the exercises, since they're all unilateral in nature, the core is constantly bracing throughout the duration of the workout. And by doing all these movements that require a bunch of different muscle groups to work together in harmony, it reduces the likelihood that you develop imbalances, because all the muscles are getting stronger in context of each other versus in isolation from each other. So what I mean by that is typical lifting exercises, like let's say the bench press or dumbbell press or tricep push downs or something like that. It's usually a movement that focuses on a single muscle without a whole lot of other muscle groups involved. What happens is certain muscles start developing way more than other muscle groups, and then generate imbalances, which increases the likelihood of injury and pain and things of that nature, as opposed to your body is, I don't know, I would say in many cases designed to perform movements where all muscle groups are working together. And so by training by training your body using movements in which a lot of muscle groups are involved at the same time, all muscle groups get stronger together at I don't know, it's not the same rate, but in a rate that complements each other. But yeah, that's a thought that I had. I hope the thought made sense. I kind of just ramble sometimes. But yeah, on to some kettlebell juggling after this. Alright, on to some kettlebell juggling. I don't think I'm gonna cut today's session kind of short with the juggling. I just kind of want to go on a walk after this. Plus, I'm feeling kind of fatigued from the heat, and I don't want to push the envelope too much. Like, I do want to go hard today, but I also kind of want to just wake up tomorrow feeling like so tomorrow's Monday. I kind of don't like starting the week off feeling sluggish. And in an effort to not have that happen. I'm not going to have a long kettlebell juggling session, which would tire me out more. That last one's probably going to be it. Feeling kind of spent, and I still want to go on a long walk. So, yeah, a nice endurance workout today. Yeah, that's all for today. See you all in the next one.